Conversation is still very much a part of the Fresh Start. And that's why we're trying to get off the ground and not circle around the same issues, but move forward into what are specific opportunities that you see. Yeah.
This is not about the advancement of economic. This is about the advancement of community advancement. And this is not an issue of financial advancement for the government or for anybody. This is about the advancement of community advancement.
That's right.
That's what's going on. And we are being pushed into a situation that is just not tolerable. It's like somebody going out here, the kids going out here doing real bad things. That's not tolerable. This is about us trying to maintain our homes, trying to maintain our communities. When we say community watch, neighborhood watch, I'm really with that. Because if you work all your life to acquire something, who is the government to come and take it from you? Who is a financial establishment to come and take it from you? They play politics. It's not about politics. These people are real to me, each and every one of them. Let's make it happen.
You said, that's what we said all over again. But
Why are we reiterating?
I'm with you. But I want, if we have schools back again over here, if we have libraries back again over here, who's going to visit them? They're talking about closing the libraries already. How are we going to put one in if we are nobodies to begin with? So first, like this gentleman said, we need to revisit our value unto ourselves first and become somebody. Then after that, as we grow, then we can approach people in a right way. We can say we're somebody and you're not going to overlook us. I just wanted to say also that I kind of calculated the east side. And the east side to me is now extended to the west side. I mean, the same people on the east side as it is on the west side. They're the same common problems that we are having. So the value is also exists throughout the city. But the outside, outskirts, Grosse Pointe, they're not having this issue. Taylor, they're not having this issue. I mean, why? Okay, inner city is having an issue. That's what I'm going to say. And our area is now grown. It's not even just this little area. There's people all the way to the west side to about Telegraph.
Yes.
I only, I'm sitting here listening to this. I mean, I've heard people say we don't want farming and we don't want that type. You want industry, you want houses and all that. The problem with houses and industry, it costs a lot more money than it does to put a farm in for now. At least that land that's sitting there that nobody is taking care of, we're willing to take care of it. Whether it's to do corn or whether it's to put a park in. It's something rather than weeds. And I watch, sorry for the words, I watch streetwalkers go up and down my street of my business all day long. If those weeds and trees and empty lots aren't there and they're, okay, so it's corn. It's corn, but at least it's not the weeds and the garbage and the trash for now. You have to start somewhere to bring people back into the community by saying, when there's money starts to come in, then the houses will go up. He wants to turn the stuff over to the community, to build houses, to build more. But he can build a farm for pennies on the dollar of building a house or building a school or building a library. That takes tax dollars. He's looking to build a farm that they're going to take care of.
So Representative Stapleton touched on something, and I want to talk about this because, what are the realities? So, and it's only take a couple of minutes. The realities are that at the height of its population, this neighborhood had 89,000 residents. Okay? In 2000 census showed that this neighborhood had about 12,000 residents. As of the 2010 census, this neighborhood has less than 4,000 residents. People are continuing to leave the neighborhood, okay? And the resources that go with those people are leaving the neighborhood. So when you talk about the housing plans, I've seen all the housing plans. There's some great plans for 1995. The reality is that the funders that fund those projects want the community organizations that have those projects, like the representative said, to start taking a look at maybe there's another way to make those plans happen, maybe in a smaller scale or a different way. Those projects, when you go down to the city, because we've talked to the city, are still all on the city books. And they're outlined on these maps and other maps as these are areas that there's already projects planned for them, they haven't executed them, stay away. So those projects haven't disappeared. You know, we're all about, is there a way that we can partner with the East Side, with your organization, to take a look at those plans and maybe make them happen, to actually bring dollars to make them happen.
Gary,
Yes.
I'd like to direct this to the young man from the city.
Yes.
You're in planning, you said?
Can you stand up and ask if
You're in planning? You're in planning?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. What plans do the medical center have for this area?
The medical center?
Yeah, the Detroit Medical Area Center.
I don't know. I have no idea. They don't share plans with the city. They have plans that are separate and distinct from the city. I don't know what they could be for this area.
Well, I know.
You know?
Oh, yeah, I do. That's why I'm asking you. I need you from the city. And I know this is the area that they want. Okay, and I know they want it, and they want it for
They can't
reasons.
have it unless they buy it. You
Oh, I
can't
know
put it
that.
in this area.
I know that. They survey it
Under
every
the
month.
mistaken notion that the city can come in and take this property. They're not going to come in and take it.
Oh, I ain't worried about that. Trust
So-
me. That's not something I'm really worried about.
Can I ask a question of the audience? What is the plan that Detroit Medical Center has for this neighborhood?
Well, actually, the Detroit Medical Center want to actually bring Michigan State also into their mix. And in order to do that, Michigan State said we have to have a separate grounds from Wayne State. So they want to put their housing and other facilities on this side of the railroad track.
So the housing that she's talking about wanting to come here, they want to bring.
But they bring it for their doctors, nurses, and things, and students from there.
And is that a bad thing?
Oh, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I just wanted to get an understanding and see how far the city,
Okay.
have progressed in there.
You had your hand up.
The mayor, he was a quick one, which I
Yes.
frequent. He was talking about the farming issue. It was not that I particularly had an issue with the farming. I had an issue with it coming on my side of the street when we've been keeping up the lots, and they had lots by their houses that is not being consumed because it does create rats that I ain't trying to have in my house.
So let's talk the realities of farming. First of all, I grew up in a farming community and worked on farms from 7 till 20. Rats do not live on farms. The reason that rats don't live on farms is because rats don't eat live produce. They don't eat live fruit, they eat dead things.
What about mice?
And hang on. And the lots that are unkempt in the city, like when RecoveryPark had weeds this high, you're more apt to find rodents and possums and snakes and things in there than you would on a well-manicured farm. But I think there's a misconception about what we're talking about as agriculture, because we're not talking about 500 acres with big tractors and row crops. We're talking about doing a lot of things inside in
But they have that on their lots.
in greenhouses and hoop houses, okay, and utilizing as much space as possible in a very friendly way. So we're working with some of the people from the Detroit Collaborative Design Center and UP to take a look at it. We've put greenhouses in a community, okay. Community might not necessarily want to look at glass houses, okay? So what can we do to put in berms and plantings to shield those kinds of operations? Very similar to what an auto plant would do, because the neighborhood wants the auto plant, they want the jobs, but they don't want to look at the auto plant. So what can we do to do those things? None of what we're proposing for urban agriculture will exceed anywhere over 30 acres, which is basically about 10 square blocks.
But if you had something surrounding it that was kind of beautiful, and somebody could come, like Heidelberg Project, then that would be different. But now, when I've been in my corner, I got sticks, I stopped them from putting the little, planks, what they call the pallets. They work on to put pallets around. I'm like, no, you can't do that, so.
I know there's a lot of community farmers that are doing a lot of interesting things in the city. You know, that's not what Recovery Park's goal is. Recovery Park is to do, you know, more commercialized, more structured, more intense farming to actually bring the jobs. Because the jobs really aren't on the farming, the jobs are in food production. The jobs are in the canning and the pickling. So I'm 56 years old. I remember being able to walk through Detroit communities, and everything that I bought at all the local neighborhood stores were made in the community. Those jobs have gone for a long time. And even though Better Made Potato Chips is here, most of the employees don't live in the city. Okay? And most of the product are exported. So how do we bring back that small food distribution model into the city to create those jobs? One of the ways that we do that is we do that by growing the product here that we're going to can, pickle, process, so that we can sell not only in our own communities, but outside the city of Detroit. The more of that we do, the more jobs that we create in this community for residents in this community, the more housing projects that can be built to bring more people back into the community. And when the housing starts to get built, then the stores come, then the movie theater comes, then the bowling alley comes. And you can look at any major city built up in the world, and that's generally the process that happens. Most development doesn't happen because you build a housing complex and everything else follows. Housing and businesses follow jobs.
I got a question. So when Recovery Park take over these boundaries or lots that they're trying to get, will you create jobs for the people within that community first that already live there?
Absolutely. What we'll do when we identify an area that we have somebody that wants to go with us, as let's say a for-profit business model, we'll sit down with, you know, the people that are in that community and have a one-on-one dialogue. This is what we're talking about. This is how the deal's going to structure. These are the types of jobs that are going to be available. Are you interested? Okay? And at that point, with that particular piece of land, with that particular building, with those people in the community, we have a small community benefits agreement so the community knows how they're going to participate, what they're going to expect out of it, what we're going to expect out of it, who's being like to tell. Oh, yes. No. Did you ever hand mine?
And that is a community benefit. That is something that is tangible, that you can write into a plan and an agreement and get that up front. That's what they're doing in Del Rey right now when that bridge comes, that we've had to watch dozens of commercials over the last couple of weeks. When that deal is done, those folks will get jobs first because that is a part of what they have requested to be in the agreement. And so that is a legitimate thing to ask for and a very smart thing to ask for.
Absolutely.
I know earlier you said something about having a little place where we can come, like if we need help with like furnace, windows, and insulation, and all of that, that the health center, and that to be able to help us or try to help us. Well, how can you do